There's a room in your mind that only opens when life finally breaks you. The world sleeps, but your thoughts pace the floor like ghosts without doors. Tell me, why does the heart whisper its loudest truths only after it shatters? You sit there, holding yourself together with trembling hands, pretending, numbing, hoping no one notices the cracks forming under your smile. This is about falling apart, not as a failure, but as a quiet place inside you that has been waiting to breathe. But when everything slows, when silence finally surrounds you, the truth rises like smoke from a fire that never died. You feel the ache behind your ribs, the tension in your throat, the heaviness in your eyes that sleep cannot touch. We break in private, we crumble where no one can see us, because we were taught to fall apart quietly, like it's something shameful. But what if it isn't? What if collapse is simply consciousness trying to speak? What if heartbreak, burnout, and the slow erosion of identity aren't endings at all, but mirrors we've been too afraid to look into? Falling apart doesn't come from weakness. It comes from caring too much for too long, from holding your breath through storms that were meant to wash you clean. Jung wrote of the shadow, the forgotten self, the buried pain, the voice beneath the noise. When life collapses, the shadow steps forward, not to destroy you, but to ask, are you ready to stop pretending? There's a strange beauty in this moment, a fragile one like a candle flickering in a cathedral whose walls have finally cracked open. Pain exposes meaning, darkness reveals shape, and what breaks also reveals what was never real to begin with. But here's what we never see. Here's the truth we run from. Falling apart is the beginning of honesty. When the facade collapses, only what's real remains. The need you hid, the exhaustion you swallowed, the longing you silenced, the heart you abandoned to survive. We fear breaking not because it hurts, but because it shows us who we've always been, beneath the armor. The crowd gives comfort, but it also steals your voice. The mask gives safety, but it also erases your name. Sometimes everything must collapse so you can finally hear yourself again. Sometimes you lose the life you built to remember the one you wanted. Maybe the darkness is not punishment. Maybe it's a classroom, a place where the self learns to breathe without performing for the world. Maybe falling apart isn't the end of your story, but the start of your becoming. There is beauty in the ache, because only what's real has the power to hurt. Even the sun must break the horizon in fire before it rises in light. Even stars collapse before they shine. You are allowed to fall apart. You are allowed to begin again. Maybe you aren't breaking. Maybe you're unfolding. Maybe this is not the death of who you were, but the birth of who you're becoming. Maybe the pieces weren't meant to fit back the way they used to.